Lila Rose is a nutjob anti-choice advocate who created her own political group called Live Action. And what they do is they try to go around the country and smear women's clinics, including Planned Parenthood. And listen to what she said about Planned Parenthood. This is horrendous.
Not good enough for Satan. He wants the abuse to continue for the woman. He wants a cycle of abuse. He wants the woman back in there for another abortion. And Planned Parenthood is happy to promote it, because part of their ideology is not only that abortion is somehow choice and okay and even a good thing, but also that there should be a sick code, what I call a sick code of confidentiality or secrecy around abuse. That human sexuality is not the way that we understand it to be, but instead that sex with anyone, anywhere, anytime, for any reason, that's just choice. That's a matter of flexing the human muscle and doing whatever you want. And then if there's consequences, come to Planned Parenthood for an abortion. And that's the system they've set up for our young people, and that's when they're going into our schools and teaching children as young as in kindergarten to experiment sexually and develop sexual patterns of behavior that are only going to harm them in the long run. And that's part of their plan. And when I said at the beginning of this talk, Planned Parenthood is the most evil organization in human history.
Right. The worst group, the most evil group in human history. Not, say, the Khmer Rouge, who killed 1 to 3 million people. Or how about the Nazis? Those little gems, including the Gestapo and the SS and the rest of them, Hitler himself. They killed 11 million people. No, Planned Parenthood is worse than Adolf himself. Or how about the Maoists? You remember them? From Mao Zedong, of course, was the leader, and the Maoists killed 45 million people. Nope, Planned Parenthood is worse than them because they give out the morning after pill, which doesn't even kill a person or a being or anything, really. It prevents a pregnancy from occurring. Or, how about, say, the Stalinists who killed between 10 million and 60 million people? Nope, Planned Parenthood is worse than them, worse than the KKK, worse than Al-Qaeda or jihadists, or any of the actual evil motherfuckers. It's women's clinics that are the most evil. Planned Parenthood is the most evil organization in human history. But listen to yourself, man. I mean, nobody could actually believe that. Is anybody that crazy to believe that? Now, look, man, I get it. I get the pro-lifers. I sympathize with them to an extent, okay? And what I mean by that is I think the best abortion policy to have is a moderate abortion policy. And in fact, if you look at the polls, the overwhelming majority of the American people agree with a nuanced and a balanced approach. So, first of all, that's what the law already is in the U.S. It's very nuanced, it's very balanced. There are no late-term abortions. I repeat, there are no late-term abortions. The only time you can get a late trimester abortion is if the life of the mother is in danger, there's a fatal fetal defect, and the fetus isn't going to make it anyway, or there's rape or incest. Those are the only exceptions, and of course those exceptions should be there. Okay? Other than that, you can't get a late-term abortion. In fact, 90% of abortions in the U.S., 90% occur before 13 weeks. So in other words, what you're dealing with there is gametes or zygotes or embryos or pre-gestation fetuses. And oftentimes what you're doing, like for example with the morning after pill, you're not killing a life, you're preventing a life from occurring. There's nothing wrong with that. That should totally and utterly be the full choice of the woman, 100%. It's about reproductive health. It's not about some kooky thing like murder. And get this, 98% of all abortions in the U.S. occur before 20 weeks. Now, 20 to 24 weeks and after that is the line where the nervous system develops. Okay, so I get it. After that line, you want to limit it. You only want to have those certain exceptions that we went over already. But 98% of abortions occur before that line anyway, and the 2% that happen after are because of the exceptions. So we have the perfect policy, in my opinion, in the U.S. when it comes to the issue of abortion. And nobody's pro-abortion. She acts like, it's the old Sarah Silverman joke where conservatives think that liberals sit around and they go, hey, do you want to go grab a movie, maybe a slice of pizza, and then maybe an abortion? No, nobody wants an abortion. Nobody looks forward to it. It's not a happy time in people's lives. In fact, it's a very personal thing. It's a very scary thing for women to go through, and it doesn't help that jackasses like you make them feel like they're murderers. And then how could I go on any further without bringing up the kindergartners thing she said? Did you hear what she said? Oh yeah, they're teaching sex ed to kindergartners. No, they're not! No, they're not! I don't know what else to say.